Guess what time it is? Un café con Kenya. So let's get into it. Where have I been? Hi y'all, NaturallyKenya here, or should I say ciao y'all? NaturallyKenya here, and welcome back to my channel. Look, I know it's been a very long time. It's been almost 6 months, maybe a little more, where you have not seen my face actually talking to you on a video. Last thing I uploaded was actually my 5-year anniversary in Italy, and basically going through a few of the things that I was reflecting on, things that I learned from, and just overall growth and experiences that I've had while living in Italy for the past over 5 years now. So I wanted to do a quick update video on what exactly is going on and what happened back then that made me basically disappear from the internet for 6 months. Well, if you are new here, my name is Kenya. Yes, like the country, and I'm an American girl living abroad in Rome, Italy, documenting my experiences and sharing them with all of you. Okay, so if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you don't see me here, I'm usually active on Instagram as well, so you can find me there. I usually post more live updates in real time there, so you may find me more active on that platform. So I'm trying to get you guys videos on Sundays and or Thursdays every week. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. So honestly, I haven't been in Italy. So that's kind of why you guys were kind of not seeing much content. I was actually abroad for approximately 3 months for work and to see my family. So I wasn't in Italy very much during that period. So a lot of things happened during that time frame. It was really, really stressful and a chaotic period for work. Obviously, unfortunately, YouTube is not my only job. I have things to do. So I'm usually always either busy with work or just enjoying my free time with family and friends. So during that period, I wasn't in Italy. That's why you guys didn't see much Italian content. And I actually went to spend Christmas and New Year's with my family in Texas, which is always a really, really wonderful experience. I mean, before the pandemic really started, I guess I could say, where the things were really shutting down, I really discussed this with my twin sister, who also lives in Europe, by the way. She has my same face. So if you ever see someone walking around that looks like me, it's her. We're identical. And it was just something that always came to mind for both of us, that we would really like to go home at least twice per year, just to see our family. So I really tried to make that my goal when things started to open up a bit more and I was able to travel home, because I mean, you only have one family. Like, you only have one family, and I really felt like I was missing out. Whenever I was studying, we didn't really have much of a timeline, or an Italian timeline, where we were notified in advance of the exam schedule. So I didn't really have the flexibility to go home when I wanted to. I mean, they would tell you the exam 2 weeks from the actual end of the semester or so. So it was really unorganized, and it wasn't possible to plan a trip in advance. So basically, now that I'm kind of out of the university area and working more, it's easier to kind of plan in advance, but also I really wanted to make sure that I make that a priority now in these coming years. So if it's not in the middle of the year and at the end for Christmas, it's just going to have to be some combination of 2 times per year for me, because I feel like it's been a long time. I mean, that I haven't seen my family. I really want to make that priority, maybe in the midpoint of the year and then the end. So going back to where I've been, I was actually in Christmas. Well, first, let me start first. I went to Dominican Republic in Punta Cana to just relax and kind of decompress. And I stayed at a resort there just for the days leading up until Christmas. I knew I wanted to be at home for Christmas in Texas with my family, but I just wanted to really kind of disengage, because it was a really intense period for work. So I went there, and then they conveniently have a nonstop flight to Texas. So I took that from Punta Cana. And then I spent a lot of my time in a few weeks basically doing a Texas tour, going around seeing San Antonio, Austin, Houston again with fresh eyes, because I feel like I never had that opportunity or a pretty extended period of time to actually go back and see all those cities again and how much they've changed, especially Austin. I hadn't been in Austin for how many years? I don't even know at this point. Maybe 6 years is the last time, 6 or 7 years, and it completely transformed. It was really eye-opening. That city doesn't look like I remember at all, which of course no city does after 7 years, but it really developed. So I wanted to go back and kind of experience the new Texas style, and see what's actually out there and how things are operating now. So I went on a Texas tour, also see my family as well. And on top of that, as you know, guys, we're still in a pandemic. So I was going to fly back. I was on a layover and was going to fly back to Italy. And guess who tested positive for COVID? This girl. Yeah. I had an idea that I probably would have had COVID just during that traveling period, because there were just so many flights and so many potential exposures, getting on the planes, going to travel, going to restaurants. I mean, it was inevitable. And I honestly knew this day was probably coming. And it did happen. So I did get two vaccines two shots in Italy. And so I was actually in my booster shot period when I was in the US. And instead of getting the booster, I actually got COVID. So I didn't have too bad of symptoms. I definitely had mild symptoms, but for me, it was really just the headache. I don't believe I've ever had a fever, but it was just really like aches and pains. I had a headache and aches and pains, and sometimes it still comes back today, or I don't know if that's just all in my mind, but even 3 months later, it's almost 3 months later at this point, I still don't feel 100% quite yet. I just feel like something is still a bit off. That's another reason why I didn't necessarily want to sit down and record a new video, because there was just so much going on and I didn't feel like I could present myself as who I usually am, like with the same personality. Like, this is me. And I felt a little lost, just being abroad, not being in Italy, and then getting COVID and having to quarantine and stay in the US for a longer period than expected. It was so crazy. It was so crazy. And I just felt like I was a little bit off. And I remember one of my friends, she said to me, "Oh, girl, look, I'm looking at your video right now. And you're talking about your 5-year anniversary in Italy." And I was like, oh my God, this girl looks like a stranger. Like, I really was looking at this video like, who am I now? Because it doesn't seem like me during that period, which is another reason why I didn't want to upload. I just felt like off. You ever go through periods in your life where you just don't feel like yourself? Like, you kind of look in the mirror and you're like, okay, who is this stranger? That's how I was feeling. I just felt a little bit like strange and just off. And I think it didn't help that, the COVID happened as well. But it was just a really overwhelming few months. The only positive from this whole experience was actually just growth professionally, and also getting able to see my family as well. If you guys may have noticed my 2021 recap that I posted on Instagram for you guys, just to kind of sum up my previous year, because this will be my first upload of the year. I wanted to just kind of recap everything that's been going on. Also, prior to me actually going to work abroad and also seeing my family in Christmas, my mommy actually came to visit me from Texas. I was so excited. So I was posting some of those adventures, and I have so much good content from that trip. I was really just so happy that my mommy came to Europe and we were able to hang out, and I got to take her to the full Amalfi Coast tour excursion experience, whatever you want to call it. And I was just so happy to be able to do that for her. She was sending me photos during the pandemic of Positano and all the colorful buildings on the cliffside. And, you know, it's so funny when you get older, you really just want to give back to your parents the way they gave to you. And it was really one of the most amazing experiences I could have ever done for my mom. I mean, all these sacrifices. I mean, I'm one of 4 daughters, okay? So my mom has, okay, I'm a twin. So she's basically had 3 pregnancies, 4 children. I'm a twin, 4 daughters. Oh, what a mess. Like, that's a really busy household. And it's so nice to actually be able to give back to her. And I was just really enjoying our time. We had a wonderful time in Positano. Took my mom to Capri. We were doing it. Amalfi, look. You know what? If you guys need that itinerary, I'll be more than happy to give it to you. I'm telling you right now, it was the most amazing experience. And it was even more amazing that I got to do that for my mom. So I was really, really excited for that. And then I also, after she came to Italy, I was actually able to spend some time with my sister who lives in Switzerland. So we went over there to see her just for the weekend or so. And then I came back to Italy. So it was really a heavily family-oriented time period. And it was just really nice. And I just wanted to disconnect from that as well. So that's where I've been. And I hope to have more uploads for you guys. I'm really in a good space mentally, and I'm feeling really creative as of late. A lot of you guys will know if you followed me long enough. I've been on here, the internet for many years now, that when I'm not feeling it, you'll see me kind of disconnect. And that's something I honestly will always do for myself, whether I had 3 subscribers, 300 or 300,000. That's just me. I'm sorry. I can't fake a smile and upload when I'm not feeling it. So right now I'm feeling it. So if you want to follow along, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, hop over to Instagram and follow me there. And I'm hoping to do more of these more casual sit down, un café con Kenya kind of videos that I really like to do for you guys. It's where I feel like I can really express myself a bit more. And obviously just open up to you guys in a more real way. So that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, y'all. So if you haven't already, if I'm not active here on YouTube, make sure, what did I just say? Un café con Kenya.